What if I told you that freedom could begin with something as simple as 3 deep breaths? That in less than a minute, you could take the very first step toward releasing the heavy weight of debt and opening the door to abundance starting in the next 24 hours. Pay attention. That's why I have a simple invitation for you right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to receive every practice and teaching on abundance. Like this video and share it with someone who also needs to connect with the frequency of prosperity. And write in the comments, I choose abundance now. For so many people in America today, debt feels like a cage. Credit cards piling up, student loans haunting every paycheck, car payments eating away at your security. It can feel endless. The stress builds not just in your bank account, but in your chest, your shoulders, your very breath. Every bill that arrives in the mail seems to take away a little more of your peace of mind. But what if the way out doesn't start with winning the lottery, landing a raise, or waiting for a miracle? What if the first step was inside you all along your breath? Breath is more than just oxygen. It is life force. Every inhale you take is a chance to call in safety, peace, and clarity. Every exhale is an opportunity to release stress, fear, and the invisible blocks that hold you back. The Release Breath ritual is about reclaiming control, even in the middle of financial chaos. It's about proving to yourself that you are not powerless, that your energy matters, and that your body, mind, and spirit can align to create change. Now, imagine this. You sit down tonight, tired from the day, maybe anxious about bills, maybe worried about how the month will end. But instead of letting that spiral consume you, you close your eyes. You breathe in slowly, filling your lungs with light, calm energy. You breathe out, letting go of tension, letting go of fear, letting go of the story that says debt controls you. 3 deep breaths, that's it. In less than 1 minute, your nervous system shifts. Your mind clears. You are no longer a victim, you are a creator. But here's where it gets even more powerful. This ritual doesn't stop with the breath. Energy alone creates the shift, but action locks it in. That's why we pair the Release Breath ritual with the debt review hack. Because once your mind is calm, you're ready to see the numbers clearly. You're ready to face what used to scare you. And from that place of clarity, you can take action that actually moves the needle. Whether it's calling to negotiate lower interest rates, targeting your highest debt first, or consolidating into something manageable. The truth is, financial freedom isn't about doing everything at once. It's about taking the first step. 1 breath, 1 review, 1 decision, and that's how change begins. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to start. So here's my invitation. Join me right now as we explore how 3 simple breaths, paired with 1 smart money move, can release your stress, open your energy, and begin transforming your financial reality faster than you ever thought possible. Release Breath ritual plus debt review hack. Here's my strong promise to you. When you combine the Release Breath ritual with the debt review hack, you create a shift that transforms both your inner world and your outer reality. Most people believe that money problems can only be solved by earning more. But the truth is, abundance starts when you change your energy and your relationship with money. And when you add 1 simple, practical step, you begin to see results that compound over time. Think about it. Every single day, your breath is with you. It's the 1 tool you've had since the moment you were born, and it will be with you until your very last day. Yet most people ignore it, rushing through life without realizing its power. Deep, intentional breathing calms your nervous system, reduces stress hormones, and creates mental clarity. When you practice the Release Breath ritual, you're not just relaxing, you're opening space for solutions to appear. You're sending a signal to your brain and the universe that you are ready to release scarcity and welcome in abundance. Now pair that with the debt review hack, and something incredible happens. Because let's be honest, debt grows in the shadows. When you avoid it, it multiplies. When you fear it, it controls you. But when you face it with clarity and strategy, it starts to shrink. The hack is simple. Once your energy is calm, sit down and look at your debts. Write them down. Rank them. Call your lenders. Negotiate your interest rates. Start with the most expensive debt and focus your power there. Even a small adjustment, like reducing interest by a few percentage points or consolidating into one manageable payment, can save you hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's money back in your pocket, money that can flow into your future instead of getting trapped in the past. The promise is this: when you align inner calm with outer clarity, you begin to experience freedom. Not someday, but immediately. You'll notice that the same debt that once felt overwhelming now feels like a challenge you're equipped to handle. You'll feel lighter, more in control, and more confident. And that confidence attracts new opportunities. Suddenly, side jobs appear. Unexpected money flows in. Negotiations go better than you imagined. Why? Because you've shifted from fear to faith, from avoidance to action. This isn't magic, it's alignment, energy plus strategy, spirit plus system. When you use the release breath ritual, you clear the blocks that keep you paralyzed. When you apply the debt review hack, you give your money a plan, a pathway, and a purpose. That's how transformation happens. And here's the deeper truth. When you honor both your breath and your bank account, you're telling yourself that you are worthy of freedom, worthy of abundance, worthy of peace. You're no longer living at the mercy of bills. You're living in the flow of prosperity. And that shift? It's the very thing that turns financial struggle into financial strength. Let me give you a real example so you can see how powerful this combination can be. Take Maria from New York. She used to feel trapped every single night by the weight of her student loans and credit card debt. She couldn't even fall asleep without worrying about how she was going to make ends meet. Then she discovered the release breath ritual. Every night before bed, she would sit quietly, close her eyes, and take 3 deep breaths, slow, intentional, filled with the image of golden light entering her chest and dissolving the heavy pressure in her heart. She didn't expect miracles, but something shifted almost instantly. The anxiety that used to control her began to fade, and she felt calmer. With that calmness, she gained the courage to finally look at her debts. She called her bank, negotiated her interest rate, and switched to an account with lower fees. Within 2 weeks, her monthly payments dropped by nearly $150. That small change gave her hope, and with hope came momentum. Today, she's not debt-free yet, but she's on a clear path, and she swears it all started with 3 simple breaths. Or think about James. From Texas, James used to avoid even opening his mail because he was terrified of the bills waiting inside. One day, he decided to try the ritual. He told himself, "I can't control everything, but I can control my breath." Every morning and every evening, he practiced the release breath ritual, visualizing himself free of debt, free of fear, and standing tall. That energy gave him strength to face what he had avoided for years. He sat down, wrote out every single debt, and started making calls. To his surprise, 2 credit card companies offered him hardship programs that reduced his interest rate significantly. In 1 year, James saved over $3,000 just by asking questions he had been too afraid to ask before. He often says, "The breath didn't erase my debt, but it erased my fear, and that gave me power." And then there's Sarah from California. Sarah combined the ritual with the debt review hack in her own creative way. She would breathe deeply, then write down the words, "I release fear. I welcome wealth." She placed that note next to her list of debts. Every time she felt discouraged, she would take 3 breaths while looking at it. Slowly, she noticed something miraculous. Opportunity started to appear. A freelance job landed in her inbox. An old friend repaid money she had forgotten about, and she even received a tax refund larger than expected. Instead of letting that money slip through her fingers, Sarah used the debt review hack. She threw every extra dollar toward her highest interest debt. Within months, she knocked out 1 entire credit card balance, and she cried tears of relief. These are not isolated stories. They happen over and over again, because when you combine inner calm with outer clarity, abundance flows. The release breath ritual opens the energy. The debt review hack opens the pathway. Together, they create results that are practical, powerful, and lasting. And the best part? Anyone, yes, even you can start tonight. Here's how you can apply this in your own life step by step. Debt doesn't disappear overnight, but when you have clarity and a plan, you immediately feel lighter and more in control. And that's exactly what this hack is about. Turning what feels overwhelming into something clear, simple, and doable. Start by writing down every single debt you have, yes, all of it. Student loans, credit cards, car payments, medical bills, whatever it is, put it on paper. Most people avoid this step because it feels scary, but in reality, the unknown is scarier than the truth. When you face the numbers, you take back your power. You stop being chased by them, and instead you start leading the process. Once everything is written down, identify two things: the balance you owe and the interest rate. This part is key, because not all debt is equal. A $500 balance on a card with 25% interest can cost you more in the long run than a $2,000 loan at 5% interest. That's why the hack is simple. Focus on the most expensive debt first. Wealthy Americans know this strategy. It's called the avalanche method. You keep paying the minimum on every account, but you throw every extra dollar at the one with the highest interest rate. This saves you money in the long term and accelerates your freedom. Here's another tip. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. Call your credit card company or lender and ask for lower rates. You'll be surprised how often they're willing to work with you, especially if you've been a loyal customer. Sometimes, even a small reduction can save you hundreds or thousands of dollars over time. Remember, banks and companies want to keep you paying, so many will offer options if you simply ask. Now let's make it practical. After you've identified your debts and prioritized them, create a dedicated plan for payments. Maybe you decide to put $50 or $100 more per month toward the highest interest balance. Even small amounts matter. Imagine if you cut just one subscription you don't use, say $15 a month, and redirected that toward debt. Over time, that little shift can save you hundreds in interest. The key is consistency. Just like the breathing ritual you'll do every night creates inner calm, the financial habit you build creates outer structure. Every dollar you redirect toward your debt is like taking a deep breath for your financial future. It opens space. It brings clarity. It builds momentum. And here's the magic. When you combine this with the release breath ritual, something shifts inside you. You no longer feel like debt is a monster chasing you. Instead, you see it as a challenge you are already conquering, one breath and one payment at a time. The calm from your breath gives you strength, and the practical plan gives you results. Together, they create freedom faster than you ever imagined. Breath isn't just air moving in and out of your lungs. Science proves that deep, intentional breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that tells your mind you are safe. When your body feels safe, your brain shifts gears. Instead of being locked in survival mode, where fear and anxiety dominate, you open up space for clarity, creativity, and solutions. And that's exactly what you need when facing money challenges. Think about it. When you're stressed about debt, your breathing naturally becomes shallow and fast. That stress tells your brain there's danger, even if the only danger is a bill sitting on your desk. In that state, it's hard to think clearly, make smart financial decisions, or even see opportunities that are right in front of you. But with 3 deep, intentional breaths, you reset your system. You remind your body that it's okay, that you're in control, and that solutions exist. It's like pressing a reset button not only for your nervous system, but also for your money mindset. Mystics have taught this truth for centuries, but in a different language. They say that breath is life force, or prana, and every inhale carries energy that can cleanse blocks and bring in new possibilities. Every exhale is a release, a letting go of fear, resentment, or scarcity. When you breathe with intention, you're not just calming your body. You're shifting the vibration of your energy field. You create space for abundance to flow in. Now let's connect this with the financial side. Behavioral finance, the study of how emotions impact money decisions, shows that stress and anxiety are the biggest drivers of poor financial choices. When people feel overwhelmed by debt, they tend to avoid bills, overspend to escape feelings, or freeze instead of taking action. That's why the debt review hack is so powerful. By sitting down, listing your debts, and creating a clear plan, you take back control. Your brain moves from fear to focus. And science backs this up. Clarity reduces stress hormones and boosts confidence, which leads to smarter decisions. So when you combine the release breath ritual with reviewing your debts, you're aligning both worlds, the mystical and the scientific. On one side, you're breathing deeply, cleansing your energy, and signaling abundance. On the other, you're applying a proven strategy to tackle debt in the smartest way possible, prioritizing high-interest balances, negotiating lower rates, and redirecting money where it makes the biggest difference. Think of it as inner alignment meeting outer structure. Mystically, you're shifting your vibration into one of safety and prosperity. Scientifically, you're building a system that makes financial freedom inevitable. That's why people who practice this combination often see results faster than they expect. They feel lighter on the inside, and their numbers improve on the outside. The truth is simple. Energy without structure leads to dreams with no results. Structure without energy leads to burnout. But when you unite the two, when you breathe abundance in and take clear financial action, you create unstoppable momentum. That's how you move from stress and debt into freedom and wealth. Here's how you can put this into practice starting tonight. The release breath ritual plus debt review hack is simple, but it has to be intentional. Think of it as a moment where you reconnect with yourself, your breath, and your money, all in harmony. Step 1 begins with your body. Before bed, sit down in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Place your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and take 3 slow, deep breaths. With each inhale, imagine golden light entering your body, filling your chest, and expanding through every cell. With each exhale, see yourself letting go of stress, fear, and the weight of financial worry. The goal is not to ignore your situation. It's to reset your energy so you can face it with clarity instead of fear. Step 2 is about visualization. As you take your deep breaths, imagine your debts dissolving like smoke, fading away with every exhale. You don't have to picture the exact numbers or details. Just see the energy of heaviness leaving your life. On the inhale, visualize yourself receiving solutions, lower interest rates, unexpected income, or opportunities that help you pay things off faster. This mental image communicates to your subconscious that you are not stuck. You are already moving toward freedom. Step 3 brings action. After you finish your breaths, open your eyes and take out a piece of paper or your notes app. Write down every debt you currently have. Don't worry if the list feels heavy. This is about awareness. Next, rank them. Highlight which ones have the highest interest rates or which ones create the most stress for you. This step is crucial because when you know exactly where your energy and money are going, you can prioritize and act strategically instead of randomly. Step 4 is the review and release. Look at each debt on your list and take one more deep breath. As you exhale, say to yourself, I release the fear around this debt. I am in control. This doesn't erase the balance, but it erases the emotional weight that keeps you from taking action. Now you're not just facing numbers, you're facing possibilities. Step 5 is where the financial hack comes in. Call your bank, log into your accounts, or set up reminders to renegotiate. Focus on the highest interest debt first. It could be a credit card or a personal loan. Even small reductions in interest rates can free up hundreds or thousands of dollars over time. If negotiation isn't possible, create a plan to pay down the highest interest balances faster. Pair this with automatic payments so you don't fall behind. Finally, close the ritual with gratitude. Place your hand on your heart, take one last deep breath, and say, I am free. I am creating space for abundance. Go to bed with that energy, knowing you've not only cleared your inner stress, but also taken a real, practical step toward financial freedom. When you combine breath, visualization, and structured review, you're no longer a victim of debt, you're the one in charge. Every night you practice this, you get closer to peace, clarity, and prosperity. Now comes the most important part of this entire ritual, the activation phrase. This is where your breath, your intention, and your energy combine into words that speak directly to your subconscious. And remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you say and what is real. It simply takes your words as commands. That's why this moment matters so much. So repeat after me, slowly and with intention. I breathe in abundance and I invest in my future. Say it once and notice how it feels. Then say it again louder, with conviction. Don't just repeat it mechanically, feel the meaning behind each word. When you say, I breathe in abundance, imagine your lungs filling with golden energy, like every inhale is a deposit of prosperity entering your body. When you say, I invest in my future, see yourself planting seeds that will grow into wealth, security, and freedom. Let's go deeper. Breathe in slowly and declare, I breathe in abundance. This is not about wishing or hoping. It's about claiming what is already yours. Abundance isn't something far away, waiting years to appear. It's here now, in every opportunity, in every breath. Then exhale and affirm, I invest in my future. This tells your subconscious that you are not only ready to receive, but also ready to take responsibility. You are building a future where money doesn't control you, you control money. Science shows that repetition creates new neural pathways. Every time you repeat this phrase, you're rewiring your brain to expect abundance and to act in ways that attract it. Mystics say words are spells, that when you speak with energy, you shape your reality. In truth, both are right. Your words are more powerful than you realize, and when you align them with your breath, they become unstoppable. Now I want you to close your eyes and say it 3 more times. I breathe in abundance, and I invest in my future. Feel it vibrate in your chest. See it echo through your mind. Imagine the words turning into light, filling every cell of your body. You're no longer someone hoping for change, you're someone commanding it. And here's the secret. The more often you repeat this phrase, the stronger it becomes. Say it in the morning when you wake up. Say it before you make financial decisions. Say it whenever doubt creeps in. Every repetition is a reminder that you are abundant, that money flows to you, and that your future is growing stronger every day. So tonight, as you lie down to sleep, take those 3 deep breaths we practiced. On each inhale, whisper, I breathe in abundance. On each exhale, declare, I invest in my future. This rhythm becomes your new heartbeat, your new financial frequency. And when you wake up tomorrow, you won't just feel lighter, you'll feel empowered. Because you've activated something bigger than yourself. You've declared your wealth, and now the universe and your actions will align to deliver it. If you're ready to connect your breath to your bank account, this is your moment to take action. Don't just watch this video and move on, activate your abundance right now. Because energy flows where attention goes, and the way you interact here is part of the ritual itself. So first, if this message spoke to you, hit that like button. It's not just a click, it's a declaration that you are ready to align with wealth. Every like sends a signal that says, I choose abundance. I choose prosperity. I choose to grow. Next, subscribe to this channel. Why? Because abundance is not a one-time event, it's a practice, a mindset, a daily frequency. When you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're stepping into a community of people who believe in growth, prosperity, and freedom. You'll be surrounded by rituals, affirmations, and financial tips that will keep you on track every single day. Imagine waking up and having a reminder that you are not alone, that thousands of others are breathing wealth, investing in their future, and creating lives of freedom alongside you. That's the power of this tribe. And now, the most important step. I want you to go to the comments right now and type these words. I breathe wealth. Write it in all caps with intention, as if your future self is declaring it to the world. Because when you write it, you don't just type words, you activate energy. You create a record, a declaration, a promise to yourself and to the universe. And every time you scroll back and see your comment, it will remind you that you made a choice, that you are aligned with prosperity. But here's the magic. When you write it, you're not just activating your energy, you're amplifying the energy of everyone else who is watching. Imagine hundreds, even thousands of comments all declaring, I breathe wealth. That's not just a comment section, that's a collective ritual. Every declaration multiplies, creating a wave of abundance that lifts all of us higher. So don't hold back. Join the wave. Add your voice. Type, I breathe wealth right now. And one more thing, share this video with someone you love. Maybe it's a friend who's stressed about money, or a family member who's been looking for hope. When you share, you're not just giving them a video, you're giving them a tool, a breath, a chance to shift their energy. And when they shift, you shift too. Because abundance isn't meant to be kept, it multiplies when shared. This is your chance to step into something bigger than yourself. To breathe deeply, to invest in your future, and to declare it boldly. So let's do this together. Like, subscribe, comment, I breathe wealth, and let's create a community where every breath brings us closer to freedom. Every action builds our future, and every word declares prosperity. Because your breath has power, your actions have power, and your words have power. And when all three align, abundance is not just possible, it's inevitable.